Please don't suck. Please don't suck. Please don't suck. This game better be good. As a fan of MMOs, this is a pretty rough time. There are so few new MMOs coming out that I have to hang my hope on every one that does. Now, how is Bless Online looking? Pretty good, actually. It's not without its blemishes and issues, and I won't be ignoring those, but I'm excited enough about the game that I decided to make this video. So here today, let's go over the 10 things you need to know about Bless Online. First, this is a theme park MMO. This isn't a sandbox game. Think traditional high fantasy MMORPG. You've got straightforward linear quests that take you from zone to zone. There's a main storyline with cinematics, 2 rival factions split up into different races. You got a simple gathering and crafting system. The end game will be PvP, professions, dungeons, and raids. If you've ever played an MMO, you pretty much know what to expect with Bless Online. In terms of classes, there will be 5 of them at launch, with more coming later down the road. You've got your mage, an elemental range damage dealer with some crowd control. The berserker is in-your-face melee god, tons of AoE damage. The guardian will be your bread and butter tank with some decent damage and crowd control options. The paladin is your healer in some badass looking armor, and the ranger is your fast and nimble burst damage dealing class. Again, there are 2 factions, each of them has 3 unique races. There's also a 7th neutral race, and when you make your character, tons of customization options to make him or her look however you want. Combat in the game was initially a bit of a concern, but for this revamped Western release, they have updated the combat. It's going to be a mix of action and tap target with a combo system, and they say that skill matters. I hear that in every game that I play, but how is it different here? Well, evidently, the timing and proper use of your abilities can be more important than the gear that you have itself. I heard someone who's played the other versions of Bless Online say that it's like 30% gear, 30% skill, 40% concentrated power. No? Okay. On to the PvP. My favorite part of every MMO. This game will have open world PvP where you fight against the enemy faction, or can even declare war on rival guilds in your own faction. There's 3v3 and 15 vs 15 arenas, as well as large scale 100 vs 100 castle sieges, dueling if you want to practice your skills, and all of the PvP has an honor system where you accumulate rating and get gear for your efforts. For those of you who prefer the PvE side of things, dungeons are a thing. There are 5-man dungeons utilizing the traditional tank, healer, and damage dealing group composition. Bosses have a variety of mechanics and heavy hitting telegraphed attacks. There are also hard mode versions of the dungeons. Along with this, there's also going to be a 10-man raid, a solo dungeon, and a 3-man horde mode dungeon. The world is said to be seamless and open. There's a starting zone for every single race, as well as a major capital city for each of the factions, PvP zones, exploration, questing, and world bosses. Again, if you've ever played an MMO, you basically know what to expect. One of the big features in this game is the pet and mount system. Nearly every single creature in the game can be tamed as a pet or a mount. Mounts you ride around on, yeah, and pets have special perks that give you bonuses like extra experience or extra gold gathered. It's said that pets are a major aspect of this game, so if you're gonna play Bless Online, get ready to have someone following you around the whole time. So those are some of the major features, talking points, and frankly, some of the stuff that I'm excited about for this game. But as I mentioned, there are some issues, and that's the rest of this list. First off, there is this hideous UI. It is absolutely one of the ugliest UIs I've ever seen, and it is massive, and worst of all, you can't customize it. So that means everything that they have there, the size, its position, is staying where it is. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. Please, at the very least, let me make it smaller. The next thing you need to know is that the game has already failed. No, I ain't no soothsayer, I'm talking about other regions. There has already been a Korean, Russian, and Japanese version of the game, and it didn't go so well. In fact, the Russian version was so bad that they shut it down so they could rework on it. Now, the good news is they are revamping the game, they've adjusted the combat, they're changing some of the systems, and the hope is that they've learned their lesson from from the already 3 failed versions of the game. But that said, you failed 3 times. What are the odds it's gonna get better this time? I really hope they figured this out. And the final thing you need to know about Bless Online is it might just end up being pay to win. Now, the game itself is buy to play with no subscription, but there is a cash shop. And while they've said it won't be pay to win, cash shop will include cosmetic equipment, skins, mounts, pets, and consumables that give you services and boosts, which sounds like it may very well be pay to win. Anytime I've ever seen anything like this, it's boosts to experience, to gold gain, to the ability to craft things and acquire things easier. It's gonna be really hard to kind of toe the line between here's some boost potions you can buy, but it's not giving you an advantage. At the very least, it's probably gonna be pay to accelerate, in which case, when the game launches, that could be deemed as pay to win because you're accelerating to max level to get the best gear quicker, to smash the people who don't have that gear. But the notion of pay to win is kind of a broad spectrum, and it really depends on who you ask. The negative stuff aside, I am generally looking forward to this game. I know it's a pretty straightforward cookie cutter, traditional high fantasy MMORPG, but I really like those games, and I love when new ones come out. NeoWiz, I'm begging you, don't screw this up. I need more MMOs. And I know like the entire gaming industry has given up on making MMOs because everyone wants to make a battle royale game. But come on, man, MMOs are so fun. Why don't you want to make games that are fun? I don't want to play Fortnite anymore.